Gonna do a little commentary on my senior film I made way back in 2011. This is my senior project at Arizona State University, their film and media program, and I thought this might be valuable to give a little insight into student film as well as independent film, low budget film, guerrilla filmmaking, whatever you want to call it. This opening sequence I did in After Effects, based around the whole theme of obviously $100 bills. And I wanted to give a little bit of story setup in the intro along with the credits. No one wants to look at just names for an intro sequence, so I thought I'd pepper some story in there. Probably doing a little foreshadowing there. I'm not sure how many people actually remember this whole sequence by the end of it, but hey, what are you going to do? You leave the breadcrumbs there, if people pick up on them, so be it. But here we go with Counterfeit. That opening shot, casino, some casino in Arizona. But this scene was not actually filmed in a casino parking lot. This is at a church parking lot where we set up some kind of LED lights, like just cheap little multicolor, color-changing LEDs, as well as kind of this laser projector thing where you can see some of the reflections on the hood of the vehicle to give it the illusion that we're in, you know, a fun casino parking lot. Not sure how fun a parking lot of a casino is, but hey, the fun's probably inside, which is what we're going to see right here. So some of this is footage that was filmed in my kitchen, actually, on my dining room table. I put some green felt down and kind of made it look like I was in the casino, and some of it's stock footage of, you know, the roulette wheel. That's Max, and that's Mitchell, and that's Robert over there who gets handed the bag. Everyone did this for free. You can actually see the mic cable in that last shot, which is unfortunate that got missed, but hopefully not too distracting. But yeah, everyone did it for free. Again, being a student production, there's not a lot of budget for paying actors and whatnot, so I'm actually really happy with how everyone donated a lot of their time. You know, this was filmed over the course of probably a month in total, but it was numerous days of filming just because of all the locations, which was very difficult, not to say the least, probably trying to tackle too much. And here we go with a little foreshadowing, a little security camera footage. This is actually out on a highway in Arizona, just filming in the car. Just me, actually. Yeah, this again, small budgets, small crew. So it was just me. There's no, I mean, everything lighting wise is just the natural ambient light coming through the windows. Thankfully the windows in the Suburban are fairly tinted, but still not perfect. Certainly not Hollywood level, but what are you gonna do when you got no money? But everyone donated their time, and it was a pleasure to work with these guys. A lot of fun and very challenging at the same time to coordinate schedules when your actors are doing it for free, and you know, it's not like there's any reason for them to show up other than the goodness of their heart. Oh, here he goes up on the roof. So this sequence was a set of 3 separate shoots. Filmed the Suburban just out driving around the desert, and then filmed Mitchell and Robert on a green screen and just tracked it onto the Suburban. It's not perfect, but it actually turned out better than I thought it would. Robert actually jumped from the side of camera there to get that rolling effect. He didn't actually fall out of the vehicle. Now for this, Mitchell kind of plays the hero, or the main character, and there he shows up. And I wanted him to be intimidating, but I didn't want him to actually... Oh gosh, what a terrible effect. Yeah, I thought it was going to turn out better, but it just was not. The idea is that he trips and falls and hits his head on a rock and kind of kills himself inadvertently. But the thing is, I didn't want Mitchell, the hero character, to be actively killing. I just wanted him to be intimidating. So he doesn't say a whole lot in the film. Just kind of that silent antagonist or protagonist, however you want to look at it. But I didn't want him actively killing people. So everyone just kind of dies. Not by his doing, but by just, you know, circumstantial. Or the circumstances. I'm not real happy with how this scene turned out looking. The ND filter I was using on the camera, on the lens, gave it a dirtier look than I would prefer. But what are you going to do? Only had one day to... or not even a day, 30 minutes to go film it. But there's their clue. They're off to the casino. And again, more footage, more stock footage, more footage from my kitchen. Actually had a little Lazy Susan that I put some of that money on to get that spinning effect. And this is not a security room of any kind. That's actually a live switcher in a live production environment. But hopefully it gives the effect that it's security footage. This next scene I actually really like how it turned out. This is a storage facility that my dad owned a unit at, or rented a unit at. So decided to borrow it for the evening, and a lot of this is just the natural light, or not just the light that's there, the artificial light. Filming this on a GH1. At the time, it was about the cheapest camera I could get that still had a large enough sensor where I could do some of the shallow depth of field stuff. So unlike most of my classmates, I actually didn't film it on the 5D Mark II or the 7D. This is the GH1 that I hacked, and then threw some Nikon lenses on there and recorded audio with a NTG2 shotgun mic, as well as a Countryman wired lav. And in terms of lighting, that's one of the hardest things to justify purchasing when you're a student is lights. But I went to Walmart and grabbed a fluorescent light fixture, and that's actually, you can see it. You don't actually see the light, but the light is coming from off camera, kind of giving them that key light on their faces. It's just a work light from Walmart. It's a fluorescent light, and it would cost me all of like $20, I think. So all things considered, it actually looks pretty nice for what it is. I did throw a little, I think, a tablecloth over it to kind of soften it up a bit, but not bad. This scene was fun to do a car chase on a no budget, no time schedule. We actually just filmed on the streets. I mounted the camera to the hood of the car there and to the side there. I didn't want to use a GoPro just because I wasn't a huge fan of the super fisheye, so I actually bought a suction mount for the GH1 that I mounted on the cars to get some of those angles, like that angle right there. And what would be a good car chase without some kind of interruption for comedy, or what some people might call comedy, I guess.
I'll never understand.
I like the lighting here too. We use that LED light that we use for the casino. We just set it to the red setting and punched it through the back window to kind of give that parking brake kind of look. Just helps add a little bit of atmosphere to the shot. Bought that off Amazon as well. Nice little police light. And the chase is back on. Yeah, just filmed this, no permission, nothing. Oh, there's that LED light again. Just put it on the blue setting and waved it in the back seat at him. But yeah, no permission. He was very, very nervous driving the streets with a light on a vehicle like that. And here, kind of get this little moment of tension. I think, yeah, we used that same blue LED there to kind of give the impression that the police light was casting that blue light on his face. I really like how Robert acted in the scene. And good old After Effects with some Action Essentials 2 from Video Copilot. Get a little plug there. Hopefully this was a twist for anyone watching the film. I wanted to establish that, or give the impression that these were, police officers, undercover cops, or, detectives of some kind. But as you'll see here, it turns out they were working for the crime boss. There's probably not enough clues or enough explanation throughout. It's hard finding that battle between leaving the breadcrumbs there for the audience to pick up on, but not spoon feeding it to them. And I probably erred too much on the side of not explaining anything. But the whole setup for this film is that they have some kind of counterfeit, money printing organization going on, and this guy here is the big boss, and Noah's just one of his, the main character here, Mitchell. Noah's the character's name. He's going rogue, so he steals a batch of the counterfeit money, goes to the casino, exchanges it for real cash, and just runs away with it. Was the whole idea. I wanted to do something around this idea of, I like the idea of criminals doing bad things for good reasons. And you'll see here at the end the good reason. So he takes the deep breath, and this is back to that intro scene where he was messing around with that, the fire alarm system. I did a little projectile gas out of the fire alarm. Because if you remember, he was tinkering with that at the very beginning. And so the idea is supposed to be that the phone is somehow connected to that system. So when he answers it, it releases a deadly gas of some kind. That was going to be his out. So we get a clean getaway. But now he's in the room when the gas is being released. And if you notice, from the moment that phone call comes in, Mitchell doesn't say a word. So idea being that he's not breathing. And wanted to do the nice little jump cut. Now, unfortunately, it's a little hard to understand this guy, but he's basically explaining kind of what I did. I considered adding subtitles, but I just, when someone's speaking English, he kind of feels a little like you don't want to have to subtitle him, but I probably should have, considering that it's difficult to understand what he's saying, and it's really the crux of everything. The key information is being delivered. But yeah, he was exchanging the counterfeit money for real money at the casino. Casino didn't notice because the counterfeits were so good. And he goes back in for the bag of money. That was an office building here locally. Every section of filming here probably took, I want to say, per location is probably 3 or 4 hours per location. And here we get to kind of realize the noble intentions of our main character. He's not just a bad guy who's super intimidating. He's got a heart of gold. He's doing it for his family. I really like how Mitchell acted in this scene. It's tough when you're kind of sitting there like on the spot. Hey, just do something. Oh, and here's, of course, the Hollywood extra twist. Oh my gosh, he's not dead. What? Yeah, I don't know. Probably a little cheesy, but I thought it was a nice touch to give him a twin brother of some kind who can be compensated for all the crap that his brother had to go through. Now, I mean, the two hoodlums, I mean, it's their fault. They got themselves involved in this whole mess by trying to rob this guy, but still feel a little bad for him. So yeah, he leaves a stack of money. And here we go back to the family. Of course, as a criminal, you can't live a normal family life, so he's got to go off and do his own thing, but he can at least make sure his daughter is well taken care of.
I'm sorry I haven't been there for you.
Get the final little
to give you a better life.
ending.
There's a lot I can't explain right now, but take this money.
It was a lot of fun to make this. I still look back on it fondly. There's so many problems with it, and so many errors and things that I just pick apart, but it's really rewarding to make something like this that took so much effort from so many different people, and just the hours and hours in Final Cut, because yeah, at the time it was Final Cut 7 and editing transcoded footage and a lot of work, but a lot of fun too. Definitely worth it. So hopefully that gave you a little insight into short film production. Maybe you've done a short film, maybe you're looking at doing one. It's not for the faint of heart, but it is very rewarding if you're able to pull it off. And I've heard there's a saying, you can't make excuses for like, oh, well, it's good for a short film, or because people go to the movies every summer and watch incredible films, and there's no excuses. So unfortunately, there's a lot of errors and a lot of things that I should have done better and spent more time with, or done a different way. But when you don't have any budget and you got a deadline to meet in order to graduate, and you've got limited schedule and timing from all your talent, It's difficult. So you make the best of it and you do what you can. But at the end of the day, the audience watching, they're only seeing what's on the screen. So you always got to do your best and hope that it's good enough. But if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Happy to answer anything. And if you want to actually watch the film, it's also on my YouTube channel, so you can check it out there.